Hello, and welcome to this short tutorial on how to get started with using USA Test Prep in your classroom. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and log into my USA Test Prep account. So the first thing you're going to want to do is go to usatestprep.com, and you are going to go to the login screen by choosing this orange button that says login. Once you do that, you're going to have to go ahead and log into your school account. So more than likely you have some type of username or password already set up, but if not, you can go ahead and create your account at this time. If you are not sure what your school's account ID is, then make sure you get with your coach or your administrator to find out what that is. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my training account here. Okay, and then you log in. And when you first log in, you're going to be prompted probably with a few tutorials that is offering you to kind of give you a quick tour of what USA Test Prep is all about. I actually find those very useful. So if you want to pause this for a moment and walk yourself through the little steps that USA Test Prep is offering right when you log in, go for it. Once you are ready for the beginning steps, what I'm going to demonstrate first is just how to create a class in USA Test Prep and how to then add some students to your classes. More than likely your coach or your administrator has already entered all the students in your building, and if there have been new students that have come to your school since they've added students to your class, then you may just want to touch base with them because it is possible that there are some new students that might need to be added into USA Test Prep so that you can choose them into your class. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to create a class. So you can see right here I already have one sample class built, but I'm going to go ahead and walk through you building a separate class now. So the first thing that I'm going to do is choose this where it says create a new class. Once you go there, it's going to take you to this next window where you have to actually identify a class name. So I'm going to call this class Sample Class 2. And it's going to make you choose one of these options underneath. And so you want to go ahead and choose which one of these options best fits which class you are creating. So for this example, I'm just going to stick with 6th grade social studies. And I'm going to go ahead and choose continue. And now from here, this is where you'll add your students into your class. And so like I was saying before, more than likely all your students are already added into your account. So it's just a matter of finding them in USA Test Prep. So I've actually went in and added some sample students so that I can choose them to go into my sample class. So I know that their name starts with an S. So I'm going to go right here and choose on the S's. And notice right away I can have all the students in this building that start with the letter S. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and choose my sample students that I created here. And it's just a matter of clicking the little add button and they all just automatically go into your class. So I'm going to add all 5 students there. And when I'm finished, then I just go down all the way to the bottom and then you'll just choose Save and Manage Class. It also brings you to this screen where it'll show you exactly what these students have done so far in your class. And so since I've just created this class, there isn't going to be much data here for me. But notice it also gives you some options over here. If you realize you didn't name your class properly, or you need to add more students to your class, or there's anything that you want to do and go back with that, you just go to this Edit Class. If you've realized altogether that you've created a class that you don't need, then you can delete the class. And if you did want to pass out password cards to your students, this is where you would choose that as well. For the most part, most students' passwords are the same as their Achieve login. So for the most part, they would not need a password card unless you see that necessary for your class. So once you're finished with this, a couple other options that you see on the screen that I just want to run through fairly quickly because you may or may not use them right away. Notice that you have the option to change a lot of these things. So like I was saying before, if you would like to change the name of your class, you would just choose the change. As of right now, it has me as the primary teacher of this class, and I want to keep it that way. If I did want to select maybe a co-teacher or maybe a teacher from another grade level that I plan with, then you can select another teacher within your building here to kind of join up in your class with you. The benefit of that is if you've created benchmarks or assignments, you can actually share these things with each other instead of you both going in and creating them. Also notice it gives you a class count here to tell you how many students you have in your class, and we'll get into the tests a little bit later. So that is really the biggest thing that you need to know for adding students into your class. And since I'm done with this step, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my home screen of USA Test Prep. And a couple other things I just wanted to draw your attention to for those of you who are fairly new with USA Test Prep. One thing I do know about this program is they do a very good job with online tutorials and walking you through how to do pretty much whatever it is you're trying to do within USA Test Prep. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually play this getting started video because this does a really good job of kind of giving you all the functionalities of USA Test Prep. And if you're new to this program, this does a really good job kind of doing an overview of it.
This video will give you a brief overview of using USA Test Prep as a teacher. Now, these topics are covered in greater depth on the help video side and also on the manual side. I'll show you that in just a moment. The first thing, if you wanted to change anything about your account, the avatar, or any of your email settings, for example, you could click on the Edit Account link that's right here. You could also print off a password card to remind yourself of what your password is. On the right-hand side, you'll see the Help tab, or the Help button. The Help button will allow you to look through our manual and see how to do specific tasks. You can also see these tasks being performed for you in help videos like this one you're watching right now. Below that, you'll see 5 tabs: Classes, Messages, Benchmarks, Assignments, and Favorites. The Classes tab will allow you to add classes and add students to those classes. That will allow you to assign tasks for students. Next to that's the Messages tab. These are messages that either we have sent out to our users or that you have sent to your students. This is the place where you would create a message if you wanted to send one out to your students. Benchmarks, these show the benchmark tests that are associated with your individual account. The Assignments tab shows individual and group assignments that you've created for classes or for single students. And then the Favorites tab shows any questions that you've marked as being your favorite or ones that you have created to be your favorites. At the top, you'll see your actual test products here. We're going to go and we're going to look at Algebra 1. And you see a lot of information here. Again, all of these topics are covered in depth on the help side of the site. You see that we have projector games that you can use in your class with your students. We have many online resources, from bell ringers that you would show on your projector as students walk into class, to projector mode questions, even to videos, the instructional videos that are on the site. We also have many print resources. These are print resources that are drawn from our database of question and vocabulary, and also print resources that are created by teachers for teachers. Those would be under the class activities. To the right are daily resources. These are questions, vocab, and video of the day that you can use also as a bell ringer. And we also have, if you're used to a different view here at USA Test Prep, we also have you to have the ability to switch to what we refer to as the standard view. Under standard view, you would see In the bottom half of the screen, you'll notice the top half does not change, but in the bottom half, this is essentially what students see when they go to their subject-specific side of the site. So if you wanted to kind of play around as a student, this is where you would go. You just switch to the standard view and you can take tests or practice activities, you can play some games, or you can watch some videos. But again, this is what the student would see. And if you were looking at list view, again, this is what a student would see. They would see all of the standards, and they would see how they're doing on them, and you could even click one of these standards and you would see that you would have the ability to try questions or vocabulary or play video games or watch videos. So this is, again, is just a very brief overview of the teacher side of the site. For more information, just look at our home page and click on the Help button on the right-hand side.
Okay, so as you can see, there are a lot of videos, as he was explaining in his little screencast there, that can go ahead and help you with using USA Test Prep as you continue to use it in your class. I will be doing another screencast in the future that actually goes into how to build benchmarks and assignments into your classes. But please use this information to get started using USA Test Prep. Make sure that you have your students chosen and you have a class identified for the students to be added to. And if there is anything else that specifically within USA Test Prep that you need help with, feel free to request that professional development from our EdTech portal. Thank you so very much for watching, and hope you have a really great day.